Hi guys, I'm Dan at vintagevello.org and today we are going to revisit the Moser Di2 Shimano Restomod we built up over winter, and I'm going to get out there on the roads and put this through its paces on what I can describe as a near full gas spirited ride. I want to see how fast an old school steel lugged frame with all modern componentry goes out there on the road in comparison with a modern carbon superbike. I want to see just what the differences are when you're kind of out there really giving it some gas. Now, if you remember, this was a Moser steel frame Corsa. We swapped out the forks onto full carbon one-piece look forks up front. We've got full Di2 10-speed on here, and obviously we've got the Hed Jet 60/40s, which kind of finish it off. It's an awesome looking bike. Rode it earlier this year at that horrific winter sportif hell of the Ashdown, and it rode really well, and it's a great talking piece. Everyone loves it. It's a gorgeous looking thing, you know, especially in a sea of carbon. It really stands out. But I want to know how this goes on the road. So the sun is out, the roads are the road, so I'm going to go out there, and yeah, I've got a course in mind we'll talk about in a moment. But enough of that, let's just get out there and ride. I'm just dragging myself up the Sean Yates test hill. It's going great at the moment. As ever, one of the issues with the southeast of England, I'm only 10 kilometres in, and I've already had lots of traffic queuing behind temporary traffic lights and roadworks, but just how it goes. Now, the route I've chosen today is a good 2-hour route. I do it a lot, and I wanted to test this on a fairly long ride, for kind of a spirited ride, because like one of the big advantages of a steel frame is its ability to cut fatigue over distance. You know, a good super racy fast carbon frame after an hour and a half can start to leave you a bit beaten up, and I wanted to kind of factor that in on this comparison, because certainly, you know, if you're on a half-hour sprint bash, without a doubt the top of the range carbon would leave you standing, but don't think that's going to be the case over a spirited ride of long distance. Now, a couple of excuses. First up, it's a lot colder than I thought. The sun's coming and going, and it's about 12 degrees. And for me, anything below 16 or 18 definitely affects performance. The hotter the better for me. But also, I have tweaked my back yesterday doing some extreme gardening, and every lump in the road or big bump gives me a jolt of pain. Certainly, brings me back to my senses. Now, it's nothing like Dan Martin, the pro, went through at the Tour. I think it was in 2017. When he got catapulted into a rock face and then continued on to complete the Tour, but having to be lifted on and off his bike because he was in so much pain. We're not in that level at all, but obviously for excuses, that's what I'm going to stick to. Oh, I am burning time here, but yes, Di2 Shimano brakes with very nice Dura Ace pads onto the aluminium braking surface of the Jets on the head. Just brilliant brakes, really, really good. Definitely a step up. Right, charge! Go! Yes! So now I'm on a nice climb, not that long, maybe 500 meters, about 6%, kind of one that you can do seated nicely, and yeah, the Moser goes up this pretty well. I mean, I would say you want to be in the right gear for it, because it climbs great, but it doesn't seem to reward accelerations on climb as much. So as long as you get the power right and the cadence right, whizzes up there no problem. Horse box, slow down. Come on, van, drag me along, make up for it. No, he's not going to. That's better. Right, I'm on a climb I'm very familiar with called Dane Hill. It's one of those kind of climbs that I like. You know, sometimes, you know, most climbs are, you know, pretty awful things, but now and again you find one that kind of works for you. I guess the right gradient, the right road, right distance. So I kind of like this one. I've no idea who's got the KOM, but I always ride pretty well on this. So I think one day I'll check it out and maybe have a go, see if I can just pick that one off. But in the meantime, we carry on up here. Bike's going great, and out of the saddle, yeah, you really notice it. That Look HSC carbon fork really stiffens up the front end, and there's no detriment to the suppleness of the ride that I can see, but that stiffness you really notice when you're out of the saddle. That's not whippy at all. It's just very, very rewarding. Now, performance-wise, the difference between the steel Restomod and a modern carbon fibre superbike, is there a difference? Of course there's a difference, definitely. The main one, I'll be honest, that you notice is acceleration. Climbing, things like that, this bike is great at. Once up to speed, it's great, but that urge and surge that you get with a really good, stiff, fast carbon bike is just not here on this. That's not necessarily bad, because the playoff is you've got fantastic buttery smoothness on most of the roads. Sure, it won't absorb every impact, lump and bump, but it's certainly a lot less crashy and bashy than any decent stiff carbon frame. So there is a payoff there, and certainly, you know, I'm almost at the end of the ride now, and yeah, I am much fresher than I would be if I was atop a Dogma or something like that. So there is definitely, you know, a payoff there. And yeah, you know, if you were riding, you could certainly do something like London to Brighton if you wanted to have a really cool bike to ride, take down there, and then also know comfortably that you're going to get over Ditchling Beacon without embarrassing yourself. This is definitely the bike you could do that on. The up front gearing of 50-34 really helps on that. And I reckon you could probably tackle the Fred Written challenge on this as well. Certainly, you know, club rides with your buddies or the Sunday coffee ride, no problem at all. But yeah, let's crack on to that coffee break. At last, we get some uninterrupted downhill roads, and I get to enjoy fast descending on this, down low on the drops. And it's a really comfy thing to do. I like this a lot. I don't like that Peugeot, but I like everything else. Well, I made it round there on that circuit in one piece. Yeah, the back's a little bit frayed, but it's okay. The espresso is not an espresso, that's enormous, but never mind. And I've had a chance to have a quick look at the Strava results. Now, what we've got there, just under 60 kilometres, just about 750 metres of climbing, so a nice lumpy route. and it's definitely cold, and that was not a clear run. In fact, that's probably the definition of not a clear run on the roads there. As we saw, traffic, I had 2 lots of temporary roadworks with queues of traffic behind, obviously vans, trucks, I mean, just not a clear run. But did manage to ring out a pretty decent average of just under 31 kilometers an hour out there, so I'm quite happy with that. I did have a look back on the previous rides. The fastest I've done it on a Dogma was, I think, 32.8, so there is a bit of a difference there, but I'm pretty sure that was a warm day on a clear run, if I remember rightly. It was certainly in June, so a lot warmer than it is today. And that kind of thing does make a lot of difference. But this could definitely go faster than I got it out there, but that is just not going to happen. To be fair, the bike rode brilliantly. If I'd have been on a Dogma, I don't think I would have been able to walk now, because my back would have been just killing me. So it does go to show that steel frame really, really helps soften up the worst of these roads here in the southeast. Also of note, it is a size 60, which is, you know, technically it's the right size for me. I'm a big guy, but I do prefer a 56 or 58. But I did find actually the most comfortable position was down up front on the hoods, nicely stretched out. That felt really, really good, really racy. I like that a lot. Yeah, the Di2, just fantastic. One thing, this will probably be sold. It'll go up on eBay soon. There's main reason being there's some other bikes coming into the collection, so I've got to make way, pending, otherwise I'll probably get divorced. So if you fancy a rather cool looking steel frame Moser Di2 Restomod, then just check out the eBay ad soon. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. Do like and subscribe for anything else that's cool to do with vintage bikes. Thanks a lot.